Howdy, folks. It's Dave. Obviously, Dave Graham from the H4V user forum. Anyway, coming to you today to talk a little bit about this guy right here. So, this is your bog standard. Well, this is the Houdini 55, which is nice. But this is the H1 hydrogen. So, wanted to do a quick update on what's going on here, what I'm testing, what I'm doing, in an effort to help out community. A lot of things that get discussed these days are, excuse me for a second, it's called preparation, are these little guys right here, power cables. As you can tell, this is a massive one. I could probably ring this on my chandelier and cause some harm. But, cables like this, so USB-A, USB-C. A lot of effort, a lot of noise is being made about, what kind of cables to get, what kind of cables to use. And that's Greg in the background pinging me on the forum. Anyway, so these cables become important. This is a nylon twist, this nylon braid one. This is kind of an off-brand. It's not Anker. I usually use Anker cables, but I think I saw this one on Amazon. It was cheap, whatever. So figured to give it a shot. The nylon braiding helps with resiliency. You got a little twist, and you don't want to sit here wrapping these things around like shoelaces or anything like that. But if you get a little bit of effort in here, this is pretty good. USB-C. This one actually lights up on the end to tell you that it's actually receiving charge or receiving power, which is never a bad thing, especially in the dark when you're trying to go find stuff. That can be kind of important. So that's this one. The other solutions. Sorry, this nest of cables. Until I've been doing this a little bit. This is USB-C to USB-C. This is an Anker branded cable. They do a pretty good job on their ends. They're just plastic. This is not aluminum like the last one. But USB-C to USB-C, so this is charge compatible. I usually get rid of these little hang tags as whatever cable cleanliness, if you will. But these type of cables are awesome for again, a little bit shorter length. It's about I think this is a meter long. And so in that case, this is really great. So it's USB-C to USB-C. Now I use this one in my car because I have an Anker USB-C charger in my car. It has, I think, a total of 4 ports on it, 1 USB-C and 3 USB-A. So this one helps. USB-C to USB-C, not a lot. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of difference in between the capabilities of cables to charge one way or the other. Right? And we're not talking about a lightning cable here. We're not talking about the actual charge capacitance of a standard charger. But these cables are handy. Again, nylon wrapped, it's resilient, and it's red. Getting a theme here? Red. There's that. Now, one of the things, this is another Anker cable. Now, this one actually is, this is a micro USB B. So B series. This is A to B. So I use this as an auxiliary power charge, and this one actually has aluminum ends to it, which you can kind of hear there. We're going to toss that one aside. One of the things I use when I'm charging is this little thing from Masterhawk. It is a dual channel meter. Does receive power, aux power come in here, so it's not going to be parasitic on your mains or parasitic for the testing. One of the things I did notice as I went through, especially when testing the red power supply, and actually the standardized Anker IQ, which would be equivalent to what these little guys do, was that it was flashing on and off, right? So it's showing us that it's power cycling, or it's power sampling, I should say. So one of the things is when you plug the red phone in directly to the red charger, it doesn't have that kind of cycling. The reason why you can tell, or the way you can tell that, is the red phone will pop the screen off and on, right? So it'll show up every, they think the polling interval is about 30 seconds. So that polling can be kind of annoying and disruptive, especially if you're just trying to go for a straight charge. Now, these two guys are going to be next on the circuit, next on testing. I'm running about halfway done with the battery on the H1 at this point. I do drain them to 0 and then charge them all the way up to 100%. I am providing the graphs and charts on there. One of these is 10 watts, one of these is 12 watts. I just finished a 12 watt test yesterday with Anker IQ. I have a Power IQ 2 version 2 coming on, which is basically an 18 watt charger, so we'll check that one out. But I'll be testing these things as we go along. And really, this is the periphery here. What I'm trying to show you guys is a little bit of what happens, why you should be using something like a 3 amp charger, which, by the way, isn't truly 3 amps. It's about 2.7, 2.8 amps. So you talk about efficiency loss in there. But a lot of these quick charging things, which are great, you know, we call it the Apple problem. You know, Apple still ships the little chiclet, charger with, their iPhone XS, which is a terrible, terrible device. It's 5 watts at 1 amp, or 5 volts at 1 amp, which is, I will test one of those and we can see how long it takes. It might take overnight. I don't want to scale my chart too big, so we're going to keep it within the 2 amp and greater category. But so these will be up next at some point. I mean, again, the hardest part is draining the battery and then recharging it. All right, so that's going to cause problems. What else? Well, no, there's not much else in that ecosystem, at least within power, that I'm going to be talking about. We'll be doing some additional testing on other devices and peripherals as they come in. I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know what you guys want to see. That's the other thing. I have the time to test. Happy to do that. I've done some micro SD card testing. We'll continue to do that as newer cards come out, but generally the periphery is still the same. UHS 1 cards are going to function up to 90 megs a second in terms of writes. UHS 2s can function a little bit higher than that. On the phone, it's going to be a little bit different. And so I do have a phone test bench that I am working on right now. We'll get around to it and see what happens, but look for that forthcoming. The rest of it, like I said, it's up to you guys. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear. I'll put this into H4V user, so you'll be able to see it after YouTube has finished transcoding it and doing all the shit that they like to do. But outside that, thanks for being a Red owner. Thanks for being a Hydrogen user, consumer, and continue to shoot those great photos that you guys are doing. Upload them to Holopics. Upload them to Instagram for your 2D and your bokeh shots. It's fantastic to see what you guys are doing. Really appreciate the community and how the community is getting involved in that. Certainly not a Red employee by any stretch of the imagination, but as an avid consumer of the Red product side, it's always great to see what's going on here. So to that end, kick ass, take names, and enjoy the ride. Talk to you later.